You are tuned in to that praisey station, praise.fm, where we get our praise on. 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Momentum Shift. It's been a couple weeks, but I'm grateful that you guys are here. I don't know what's going on with my technical difficulties, but you know what? I'm hearing an echo for some reason. Oh my goodness. The Lord is not pleased with what's going on in my life tonight. But nevertheless, we are here in spite of, and the Lord is just good because I'm alive, you alive, we alive. We're here talking in the studio. And I am so excited to have my girlfriend, Ansonya, Dr. Ansonya Burke is in the house. It's been a minute. You know, she's an exclusive because it's hard to catch this chick anymore because she either running marathons, powerlifting, hanging out with her girls, her feel like 3 o'clock in the morning crew. That's what I call it. It ain't 3 o'clock there, but it's early. So those of y'all who know me, y'all know I am not the morning kind of chick like that. But Ansonya is doing some things. I want to shout out to Dr. Lady Rain, who's making it rain here in the Valley of the Sun. I told y'all, since she moved here, we got mosquitoes. We got all kinds of items that you have in other parts of the country that we didn't used to have because it didn't used to rain like it does here. She don't believe me when I blame it on her, but you know, it is so. And amen. It rains a lot here in Phoenix. I told her she brought that here from PA and back east with her. She did that. But I'm excited. Like I said before, if you're interested in pursuing your education, I encourage you to check out Christ Central University, where all things Christian education, you want to do your Christian life coach. Maybe, you have some aspirations. Maybe you want to be a chaplain. I don't know. Maybe you have a business. You want to do your own radio show. Either way, I encourage you to check out Dr. Lady Rain because I'm telling y'all, she makes it rain. If Phoenix now is wet because she moved out here, I wish y'all could see how she rolling her eyes at me right now, but it's the truth. It has rained more in the last 3 years. 4 years since I've known Dr. Lady Rain, and I've been in Arizona for 23 of them. And the last 4 years, it started with my mama moving here from Louisiana, and then it just has carried on. You wouldn't even know this was the desert. We have so much rain now. But anyway, I'm grateful for it. I'm not grateful for the mosquitoes because I live here because I can sit outside year round and you don't have to worry about all that. But now that Dr. Lady Rain has moved here, folks got mosquitoes. They got all kinds of stuff going on outside of scorpions. If y'all could see her right now, this is the time where I wish I was camera ready and had opportunities to be able to show y'all how she looking right now. She just looking while she looking. That's what I'm talking about. Dr. Lady Rain is off the chain. That's what she is. So y'all know I'm the hostess who does the absolute mostest, but I'm excited because I'm finally going to travel. I shouldn't say that because I was in Cancun last month. I was in Cancun celebrating 30 years of sisterhood and sisterhood with my girls. And we had an awesome time in Cancun. I have done all kinds of stuff. I'm stepping way out of my comfort zone. I actually did a photo shoot, the flying dress photo shoot. I sure did. And it was probably one of the most exciting and hot and out of my comfort zone things I've ever done in my life. And yes, they do undress you and dress you on the beach. So that in itself was an experience. But you know what? We only live once. And no, my stuff wasn't out. They have a way of doing it. So before the folks get in their head, no, Dr. Drea was not naked on the beach. I was not naked. They tell you how to come prepared for that. But it's interesting to watch how they take all of these yards of material and they drape it in such a way to make it seem like you actually have a dress on. And all of our dresses weren't the same. It was 9 of us. So it's pretty interesting to watch how they do what they do. Cancun was amazing. I enjoyed myself. The Airbnb we stayed. I'm feeling a girls trip. So we gonna have to do a girls trip Cancun. Start making these girls trip happen, because life is happening to all of us. And realistically, that don't mean something bad happening just because people say life is happening. But these days and nights is rolling by pretty fast. And yesterday is gone. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and I'm enjoying my life, and I'm encouraging other people to enjoy life, because you know what? When it's over, it's over. And I don't want to get to a place in my life where I'm not able to be as mobile as I would love to. I want to make sure that, we making it right. So I'm gonna say this: Dr. Lady Rain is always in them streets. Y'all notice she was in the Bahamas. I'm talking about Praise Fest right now. I'm talking about Praise Fest. Dr. Lady Rain was in the Bahamas. She done been to Jacksonville. She done been to Tallahassee. She on her way to Meet, Louisiana, which is Praise Fest, New Orleans. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get there. The Lord is going to open up something, because I need to go home so I can be at Praise Fest. It's going to be Praise Fest. I don't know if there is one in between Louisiana and Las Vegas, Stella weekend. She said no, but with Dr. Lady Rain, you never know. See, so next month, don't say I didn't tell y'all. If y'all see some flyers that said Praise Fest somewhere in June, I already told y'all. I'm telling y'all, don't sleep on Praise Fest, because God is doing some powerful things with the radio station here at Praise.FM Radio. She on early with her praise exercise. I was just a little through when now she do. Okay, so you don't know what you're going to end up with. We worship. For those who trying to get healthy, Dr. Lady Rain got something for you for that too. So it doesn't matter what your aspirations are. I guarantee you there's something here on the platform for everybody. So that's why she gets mad at me when I start throwing stuff at her, because she can't be on the camera with me like she is on Friday with Big E and friends. But I'm not going to say nothing, because Big, it is what it is. But I guess I have to wait until the Stellas to see Dr. Lady Rain, even though we live around the street from each other. We work around the street from each other. So I'm gonna have to roll on through so I can see her over there at the school where she work at. She working on that PhD, y'all. So y'all that second PhD or third PhD. I lost track on that dissertation. So we gonna need y'all to pray, because sister is busy. And Dr. Ansonya and I just said, God bless you. That's what we said. So having done all of that to stand, we're going to stand therefore. Yes, we're going to have our loins girded about with truth, because Miss Ansonya, Dr. Ansonya, the iconic leader, coach, leadership coach, ministry coach, sister coach. Don't tell Ansonya you're going to do something and think she forgets, because she's not. And you will get a text message out of the clear blue. You don't even know where it came. You didn't forgot. We thought the Lord forgot, but Ansonya didn't. So I'm just going to tell you, she's that kind of friend. We all need a friend like that, a sister friend in our life who will hold us accountable. Someone who is living her life openly. That's how I ended up with my show, as I chronicled my life story. She's done the same thing. And if you've watched her, that girl is looking so fly. I'm just like, but I can't have that conversation on air, because, she will kill me if I try. But I'm just like, what's really going on? I mean, because she looking so cute these days. A new photo shoot every week. A full-fledged photo shoot every Sunday. I'm like, oh, okay, so that's what we doing. This is how we do that, huh? But you only live once, for real. She's enjoying her life, and that's why I have her on the show tonight, because she has this wonderful weekend planned, and we want to talk about how we got here, because to be honest, it was that flyer that got me. She hadn't even put the whole flyer together, but just her picture and all them daggone bags behind her head. I could not be here for this. So the Lord he worked it out. So I was able to make it work. And I'm grateful for the opportunity. So welcome, Ansonya. Tell the people hello. Welcome. Tell them Texas style. Just a good Texas. God bless you.
Oh, I'm just so happy to be here with you. You crack me up. It's been a long, long time. But just truly grateful. Just living out loud and enjoying it a lot. And so being my authentic transformational self, and it's been a journey, and that's where the baggage conference is coming from. And once you start releasing it, you can live out loud too.
Wow. So she's being shy, which Ansonya is not shy. No, not shy at all. I'm excited about what's going to happen this weekend, because I've had the fortunate or opportunity to meet her at a part of her life where it was hitting at that point. She was being hit in every direction, and the Lord just kind of connected us really through a mutual ministry type situation. And I met her on the phone. We had never seen each other in real life. We talked on the phone, and we handled God's business in that moment, not knowing that God's business was a perpetual thing. And that's how a relationship was built out of that experience. So you never really know when you're talking to someone about one thing, you never know what the Lord is going to do in the long term. So that's been, I forget how many years ago, but it's been a minute.
It's been like 10 years, I think.
Yeah,
it's been a little longer than 10 years. About 10
years.
It
has. And, I was like, oh, and then we became friends on Facebook. And for the longest time, we only saw each other by post on Facebook for the longest time. And then one time she came to Phoenix. She and her daughter came to Phoenix, the Annihilator. Yes, she came to Phoenix, and I had an opportunity to meet them at a hotel right near the airport. And we went, and I went to where she was staying, and that was our first face-to-face encounter. And you know what? It was like we had known each other all our lives. Mm-hmm. Because when God does something, he does it in a special way. You just never know what he's going to do going forward. And I'm just grateful to see the Ansonya I met and the one that I know now. And not that Ansonya was a bad person. So let me clear that up before y'all start thinking, oh, she was a mess. We've all been messes from time to time in our lives. That's how the message comes. If there is no mess, there is no message. People want to know that you resonate with where they are in their lives. And sometimes the Lord will take us through a few things to get us there. And so, Ansonya, if y'all watching all of these pounds drop off, I'm telling y'all, my God. So, Ansonya, share with us how you got because I said these from bags to bags, and she was like, that is not it. But I'm like, one bag does turn into multiple bags. I like to fly Southwest, so I don't have to pay for my luggage.
Me too.
So wherever they flying is usually where I'm going. I'm gonna find a way to get where I'm going by way of that. But I do it because I like to overpack. Unfortunately, it's not my best attribute, but I do that and don't wear none of the stuff and end up going buy stuff because I didn't plan well. That's I'm just sharing a little stuff as we do. And so we'll have all this stuff and don't have the things that we need, but we got all these bags, everything. And I still find something. And it's those little things like toothpaste, them simple things, or I'll forget an undershirt. I always end up having to go to the store. And I recognize that's from waiting to the last minute, poor planning, or just not thinking things all the way through and planning ahead. And Sonya is a planner. She dots I's and cross T's. She's that kind of person. But even being that, you still had some things in your bags you didn't need. Absolutely. And so tell us, how did you get to this place where you start from where you want to start, and then people will chime in with their...
Sure. I think the first thing is, you were talking, even before we get to the bags, I was wearing a mask. And it goes back to what you were saying in terms of, I am more of a perfectionist. I do plan. I like everything in the spirit of excellence. That's my word. Excellence is in the details, making sure that I'm, dotting my I's and crossing my T's. But even in the midst of that, everybody thought I had it all together, and I was bleeding while leading. And no one, only people such as yourself, really, that could discern it. It wasn't something that I shared at all. It was just, I was one of those people that you just need to know. If you love, if you're so close to me, you should just know. And we'll talk more about that later, because we can't expect that. And I had to learn that. But just really, I was just carrying a lot, dealing with a lot. I went through I was married for 28 years. I went through a divorce. I wouldn't say that it took me like 10 years after we divorced for me to say that I was divorced. I hated that word, didn't want it, never wanted it. But I have been, just the happiest since. I think I've been through so many, I call it tsunamis, a lot of them since then. That was one. And then just, some other things happened, and but guess what? I had the mask. And with the mask, I began to pack my luggage. So because I didn't want to share who I was, I just put that little piece in the luggage. So just the depression, I put it in the luggage. The fact that I was different, iconic leader, I put that in the luggage, and put my mask on and put on that face that everything was fine, when really I was so dying inside, and I was helping other people, getting them delivered, and I just could not deliver myself. I remember one of my girlfriends that's very close, and she's actually a therapist too, and she told me, I'm surrounded by therapists actually, but she told me, she said, you won't even throw your own self a life jacket.
Wow.
And that really,
wow.
Right?
That's
huge, right? She kept saying, you'll throw it, you'll keep throwing it, you'll go over to, you'll go get somebody, you'll grab their hand, you'll have a conference. I would have a conference, get everybody delivered, and couldn't get delivered myself. And when she said that, it about broke me. And she was right. I would save everybody, but just wouldn't save myself. And, just all that. So just kept, doing the luggage and keeping the mask on, smiling and acting like everything was fine, when actually I was just dying so much inside.
Well, that whole statement you just made about the life raft, I thought about how often, I thought about something that I know you and I have talked about before offline. And, even through, I've seen you post too, when you're a strong person or a strong personality, I'll put it that way, people make assumptions like we don't hurt, we don't bleed. And you'll wonder, like, okay, Lord, you'll give me the opportunity to discern everybody else's needs. And why is it that no one can see mine? And I had wondered about that for years. And then I start thinking about, the difference is a lot of times their willingness to share. And I don't even know where these thoughts come from that we believe we're supposed to save the world. I told one of my coworkers today, as a matter of fact, I told her, I said, we have to take the S off of our chest, because there is no real Superman. Or Superwoman. That's a fictitious character that most of us learned about either from comic books or cartoons. For me, it was cartoons.
Right. Mine too.
Yeah. And you see this world that we live in, like, we used to tell, it's not like that now, but people used to say that crying was like a sign of weakness, or if you had a failed marriage or somehow it was your fault. You can only do what you can do. We can't make anybody choose us. If they choose to do what they choose to do, everyone has the right to choose. We can't force them. And I think we'll die trying, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't want to have to deal with the fallout of whatever. Because I don't know, maybe we think people have this expectation of us. But the question is, like, where did that come from? What do you think that comes from?
I've learned that it becomes a barrier it just becomes like this safe place for us. Mm-hmm. We build this. Here's another one. Another friend of mine said that you continue to build bricks for your protection. Wow. And I never, all these deep stuff they just be throwing on me, and I'm like, she's like, you won't come out of your wall. You just keep building bricks, and it's my safe place. And I think part of it is, I was in a marriage where he didn't want me to talk to people, so I couldn't talk to people, because then I'd have to go home to all the foolishness, So I just really believe that God brought people such as yourself in my life where I could feel comfortable enough to at least just peek over the brick, peek over the wall, and be able to say, can I just come out just for a little bit? And then once I did, I'd go right back into that ball and start building some more bricks, because it was my safe place. I didn't have to worry about, what somebody would say, or I wouldn't have to worry about that my stuff would be out there in the world when that's not really what I wanted. So I just think we build our own walls for protection.
And I agree with that. I'm hopeful that Dr. Lady Rain's gonna kill me, because she said it's time for us to break, and I just think this is a good spot to do that, because I want to talk about a little bit about that wall and what that wall does, and the whole, most of us watched fairy tales when we were young, and there's always seemed to be a castle, and there's an entrance into the castle, but there's this moat with snapping turtles or snapping crocodiles or whatever that's in that moat that keeps the people out that we don't think is worthy to enter. So let's talk about that after the break. So I'm going to ask that you guys stick around. I'm sitting in the studio right now with Dr. Ansonya Burke. She is the iconic leader. She's having a wonderful, life-changing encounter experience with God this weekend. She's the only woman of God I know that celebrates her birthday the entire month. And she does it by giving back to other people. So I'll be back in a sec with Dr. Ansonya Burke.
Have you ever wanted to host your own inspirational radio show? Have you been called to inspire and spread God's word? Please contact Alicia Rain for more info.
Are you the next great independent artist, but you're looking for a distribution opportunity? Well, sign with us at Praise.fm Music Distribution. Yes, the 2021 Stellar Award nominated Praise.fm can handle it all. We understand the narrow road leading to getting your music heard at the right time at the right place can be tough. So send your music and video files to fmpraise@gmail.com. That's fmprayz@gmail.com. Praise.fm Music Distribution, affiliated with Sony Music and the Orchard Distributors.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Maharo Peoples Jr., aka MP2, and I want you to go to HarlemBoyCollection.com. That's HarlemBoyCollection.com. I need you to join the Harlem Boy tribe today, because Harlem Boy has just come out with the MP2, yes, Maharo Peoples Jr., MP2 edition shoe. We have it in men and women's sizes. Come on, y'all. HarlemBoyCollection.com. Visit today and get your signature MP2 edition Tribe basketball shoe today. Join the tribe.
Hey, how can I help?
Well, I kind of need to help getting life insurance.
I can help you with that. You can apply for life insurance and book an appointment right from my website. Me and my design team, we'll help you find a solution.
That it?
That's it. Now check your email. WOMACProtects.com.
Tangipahoa Parish, get ready for Praise Fest NOLA, coming to Amite, Louisiana at the Greater Refuge Temple Ministries, 1005 Northwest Central Avenue, Amite, Louisiana. This event is being brought to you by Caesar Boys Entertainment in conjunction with Praise.fm. Hosted by Ricky Ricard of Double R Enterprises and E.J. Giroux. Special guests in the building, Raven, Trent Gaddison, Danielle Stevens, Joel Jones and 3MC, Pastor Sid J, William T. Stars, Adriana Munnings, Malik Oliver, Darryl Thomas, Ontario Showers, Sickerson, Janora Brown, and the GRTM Praise Team. Also, we'll be honoring Minstrel Appointed, founder of the Spin Awards, Mr. Doug Jackson of Unique Sounds, and a very special honoree. Red carpet begins at 6 p.m. and showtime begins at 7:15 p.m. This event is free to the public, so make your way down to Greater Refuge Temple Ministries, 1005 Northwest Central Avenue, Amite, Louisiana, where we plan to go up. In Jesus' name, hope to see you there. Be blessed.
Hey y'all, this is Dr. Lady Rain from the praisiest station in the nation, the Stellar-nominated station Praise.fm, and I challenge you to join me in taking back our mind and taking back our body, and of course, connecting with the Spirit. Come on and join me for an amazing time of praise exercise. Let's get physically fit, y'all, in 2024, because God got so much in store. See you soon. Check me out on all social media platforms at PRAYZ FM Live. It's time to praise exercise. Shop Soulful Touch Roses for your personally designed rose at soulfultouchgifts.etsy.com.
Are you interested in continuing your education, certificate, or degree that will prepare you in the ministry and equip you in the marketplace? Come make Christ Central University your home. Visit us at www.myccu.online.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Momentum Shift. I am sitting in the studio with Dr. Ansonya Burke, the iconic leader. We have been chopping it up during the break. I am so grateful that you all stuck it out with us and came back. I'm excited about her conference/brunch this weekend, where I know the Lord is going to move expeditiously. I'm looking forward to the grab bags, the this, and I can't wait to see what Miss Ansonya. I'm gonna learn some stuff this weekend, because this is a woman of excellence, and when she does things, I'm telling y'all, when I say she dies and cross T's, and I'm not talking about perfectionism, we've been delivered from.
Oh yeah.
Hallelujah. Because like her, I understand the challenges that are associated with perfectionism. You can be a person of excellence and not allow the spirit of perfectionism to be utilized. That's what the enemy does. He takes your gifts and your talents and he distorts them and set you up for failure, because that's exactly what perfection in that sense will do, because it's impossible to be perfect. But you can operate out of a spirit of excellence, though. That's a choice. And we need to choose that, because the God that we serve is an excellent God. And he was very specific about everything he did when he created the world and the people in it. So he gave the example. He says when we look in the mirror, when we look in the word, we know that we were made in his image and in his life. And that means that we look good. So all the little lies that the enemy has told us over the years, that we too this, we too that, we too the other, we need to remind him that I'm all that because God's word said it. Yes. And it's okay for me to think better of myself than what the enemy has been talking in my head. So I don't know why I needed to say that, but hopefully someone, it's for somebody. God is always intentional. So we were talking about the life jacket and how we really won't even throw ourselves the life jacket. We will keep jumping in the water trying to save everybody else. And anyone who knows anything about swimming, they will tell you have to be careful, because many people drown trying to save someone else. The worst thing you could ever do is jump in to try to save someone who has a fear and think that they're drowning, because oftentimes what happens is they will drown you while you're trying to save them. So that's why we should throw out the life jacket to them. And it has a twofold purpose. So that's a whole nother show. But Ansonya, talk to us about how you felt that this year was different. Like you could share up to this year, but what was different? Because I've known you celebrate your birthday, but this year is different. I felt like I had to be present for this. Like, I didn't know why, but it was something about just looking at the flyer said, I got to make it happen this year. I felt like it was an assignment from God for whatever reason. I don't know what he's going to do there, but I just felt like I needed to be present. And maybe it's for me, who knows? But you tell us a little bit about what was it that made you have the vision that you have with the bags?
Well, I think part of it is just the history of my past in terms of being whole. I wanted to be whole in every area. And so one of my declarations is I'm healthy, I'm physically fit, I'm spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially, relationally, and intellectually equipped. And so he's taken me through therapy and Jesus. In my declarations, he's taken me through those processes of, the spiritual, the mental, the physical. I've lost over 100 pounds by dropping the weight. And part of that was renewing, out of Romans 12:2, renewing your mind. It starts from the inside out. And I have always tried to do it from the outside in. But without the mindset change and really renewing your mind with the word of God, you just keep gaining the weight, losing the weight, gaining the weight, losing the weight. Mm-hmm. So fast forward, went to therapy and really, I remember my therapist said, you really are doing the work. I mean, I was ready. Like, it didn't take me years, like, people in therapy, and it's other people can do that. That's fine. I'm not knocking that. But for me, I refused to be in therapy for a very long time.
Of course, Ansonya did.
I was like, I'm coming in. I'm doing the work. I did the work. It was hard work. But did that, and just, the weight, the more I was able to unleash, the weight just began to fall off. And so it was a combination of, just the word of God, the transformation, unpacking all of that luggage, the depression, the, just the perfectionism, worried about what people were saying, being the strong person. And so I literally have been on a sabbatical for about 10 years, literally.
That's a sabbatical?
It was for me, because I did.
That's why I'm saying that. If the Ansonya I know has been on a sabbatical, oh my God, the one who has come out from amongst them, we're in trouble. That's all I'm going to say. It's good trouble though, because if this is how you have operated while you were on a sabbatical, I can only imagine what God is going to do now. He's totally shifted you though. I will say the Ansonya that I met and the Ansonya that I get to know now is not the same person. And we should all evolve. And hear me good. I'm not saying that the Ansonya I met was a bad person, because that's not it. What I am saying about that is we all have areas that we can grow in. And I've seen you grow. I've seen you stand within the impossible. I mean, when this woman writes this book will not be like any other book Ansonya has written.
Everybody keeps talking about this book. I don't know what book y'all are talking about.
Well, I don't know. I know there's a book, but this book is going to be a very different book, because it's going to be more of a tell the truth. And when I say truth, I'm not saying that you were lying before, but I'm talking about a different kind of truth. One that's going to bring the type of truth that people can identify with on a whole different kind of level. Because the thing about therapy, from a person who actually has done therapy for a living and all dip and dabble in and out of therapy, doing therapy myself, even as a person who, I'm not going to say I was against therapy. I just didn't like therapy. I didn't even like doing therapy, because the whole idea of sitting and having to listen to people's problems all day comes with its own level of emotional baggage, because we're human. And especially when you care and you really care about what you're doing, it takes a lot of help being healthy on your own to not take all that in. And so you have to have a place to put that stuff yourself. But I also notice that as I talk to my clients, I start seeing myself in them in a way like, oh, wow, like, oh, I got to fix that. Because you can't do therapy with someone or help someone go through a process and not hear what you say. So just the mere fact of doing it professionally, I had to start making some changes myself. And we all need someone we can check in with about our own baggage. And it's important to do that. And I think that whole piece of shame, and that's not to put words in your mouth, but that's what it sounds like I was hearing you say, just being authentic to the degree, not wanting to feel like you're being judged by people, because if I admit that I'm struggling with this, somehow they're going to think differently of me. But can I add? This is crazy. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I was saying that if you're around godly people who are spiritually sound, they see it anyway and choose to love us in spite of that. And they will pray for us. And I'm grateful to God for people that he put in our life like that, who are going to love us through it all. And they see it and they don't judge you and they love you. In spite of us, they love us. And I'm grateful for that. And having authentic relationships is so important, especially the older we get. Like, it's not about I'd rather have one great friend than to have 20 associates.
That's right.
And that one person who, we can be sweaty around and not feel like, oh, I got to go run and take a shower real quick, because, they recognize that you just finished working out. Like, you're not supposed to smell like Bath and Body Works after a workout.
Right.
But spiritually though, like for real, like how many times have we sprayed, we don't like just the normal soap and water. Like we have to have that extra.
Mhm.
You know, Vaseline worked though. It did. The old people use Vicks for everything.
That's
Vicks
right.
Vicks to get rid of a headache. I mean, Vicks is like this thing that, they use Vicks for everything and somehow it worked. That's what they had. So they used what they had.
Absolutely.
And they believed that if they put that Vicks salve on it, somehow it healed everything. And to them, it did. But that emotional stuff that we weren't talking about in our homes, because we didn't want the neighbors to know. I think could that be where the breaks kind of come from, you think?
I do. I definitely think, especially for us as an African American community, the men were just, whatever goes on in this house stays in this house. And that was the conversation. So then we as the women, we took up on that. And because, we're emotional. So we like to, communicate and talk. And, for me, I work things out through communication. Most of my friends are therapists. So, many of my, not most, but a few.
That's funny
of my
how
friends,
you're not a therapist.
I'm a counselor, so I'm close. I've always wanted to do it, but just, traveling with the military, I was ever able to be stable enough to do it. So I went into the counseling part, the coaching part of aspect, and then the chaplaincy. So I consider that close.
God bless the chaplains and the life coaches, because we're all needed. And sometimes people need both. They need all three.
Exactly.
And the Lord will guide people to the places they need in the season that they're in their lives. And
Absolutely.
there's for everything. So
but I think, just to answer your question, I think going through all of that, and then this year the Lord said it's time, because as you know, I was always doing women's conferences. I think I did my last women's conference, I think it was 2014 when my grandmother passed. And I really believe that when she passed, that's when I she was like my strength, during those times. And so I think when she passed, and I remember her passing at my last conference, they told me she didn't pass at that time, but they told me she was very sick. I needed to get there. So I had to get through the conference and then get on a plane that same night when I got back from the conference and get to Tucson. And that was my last conference. But the Lord told me this year, I need you to get up and rise. I need you to do what I've called you to do. And he reminded me of how I used to use my birthdays, as I love to give. And so I used to do conferences during my birthday time, and I used to give back. So you'd come to the conference, and then there was just so much of sowing seeds into your life and really allowing God to minister to you through giving. I used to love to give. And so he said, go back and to the roots of what I had told you to do. And he said, and I was always about being whole. And he said, go and let's unpack this baggage. And that's how the Baggage to Blessing was birthed.
Well, if you haven't seen that flyer, man, I'm gonna tell you, you need to take a peek at that flyer. I don't know what I do know what it is, but when I see that flyer, because I'm not gonna give it away right now, but if the Lord allows, he releases me to say, then I will. But I will say, when I looked at that flyer, it was as though I could see the bags, the individual bags. There was so many, like literally, it's like as far as the eye could see, there was nothing but bags. At least that's the way the Lord allowed me to see it. And I just got to thinking about, like, wow. It's rare. I'll be honest. It is very rare that I feel the need to be present at an event like that. I'm not even a brunch girl. That's not even my thing. But I will say that was something that I just, oh man, I don't know what's going on. Can y'all hear me? The enemy just don't want people, because it's just foolery
He
that's
doesn't.
going on right now. But I just feel like this year, I'll say this year, out of your obedience, you're going to see God expose some things that you've been asking and praying for. That manifestation is going to come in such a way that you're just going to be floored. Totally out of your comfort zone in a way that the enemy will try to make you feel uncomfortable about. But God is going to surround you with his presence. And we know that in his presence is fullness of joy. And at his right hand, there's nothing but pleasures that's there. So I'm telling you ahead of time, I don't know how God is going to do it. He didn't show me any of that, but I know that that something's going to manifest this weekend. And I don't know what you've been praying and asking God for, but this is beyond your even imagination. When I say that now kind of faith, things that you have prayed for years. I don't know who God is going to use to do it, how he's going to make it manifest, but I'm telling you, I know without a shadow of doubt that just as many as those bags that are behind you, you're going to see them filled in a way spiritually, materially. You'll never have to want another day in your life. I don't know what you ask God for, but I'm telling you, be prepared for the heavy lift because it's happening this weekend.
I receive it. I receive that and believe God is going to do even that. But I receive that for the people of God as well. If you are dealing with, I don't care what you're dealing with, I encourage you. God is up to something. So much is happening this week. I can't even begin to tell you. You know, you always know when you're in the right place, when just things that are just crazy. You know, even just like today, with us trying to even get the message and talk about things like that. It's just little things. And that's what's been happening this whole week. I'm like, Lord, out of all things, you know, why would this happen this week? Because everything's been going smooth and just boom, everything. And so that's why I know if you're dealing with something and you're ready to release bags, you're ready to be whole, you're ready to be free, you're tired of the enemy beating you up, get your tickets and get there. I promise you, it is going to be mind-blowing. I don't even know what that looks like. I just know, as she was saying, I have been praying and believing God that God will minister to all of the ladies that are going to be there, the women that are coming near and far. I had not planned for anybody to travel. That was not it. But people are coming from all over. So I know it's nothing but God. And he definitely will meet us there. We're going to have praise and worship from, oh my gosh, God has connected me with one of the best praise and worship leaders. Y'all know I love to worship. She's phenomenal. My daughter's going to be there playing the drums. My brother, spiritual brother's going to be there, the keyboardist, all anointed. So I'm telling you, God is really going to move on our behalf, and all the prayers that me and my circle have been praying for. So we've been praying for you. So go to my page, Ansonya Burke, or Dr. Ansonya Burke, and get your tickets. And this is what I say: if you're not able to be there, I dare you to plant a seed for another woman that wants to go and can't go because she can't afford it. Sow that seed for her, and I guarantee you, you'll get the blessing just like she will. Trust me when I tell you.
Powerful. And the prophet will be in the house on Saturday. And I ain't talking about myself either. I'm talking about the person that's on her flyer. And I'm telling you, be ready, because when she opens her mouth, the power of God flows in such a way. So I'm excited. Thank you so much, Dr. Burke,
Thank you for having me
to the studio and, blessing us. I thank Dr. Lady Rain for hanging in there and
yes
producing. She always behind the scenes. And like I said, Praise Fest New Orleans is upcoming. If you are anywhere near at A Meet, Louisiana, I encourage you to be there. She's posted. I will share it again tonight. Also, Praise Fest in Las Vegas, that Stella weekend. We're believing God that she is going to get that Stella Award this year. So
yes,
he sends out the next round. We need y'all to vote. So the radio station will win that award. So I encourage you, if you want to go to college, Christ Central University is the place to be. I'm looking at God just opening up the windows of heaven and blowing.
yes.
I mean, he just blowing blessings on Dr. Lady Rain. Her dreams are coming to fruition. The Lord is a healer. He's a deliverer. Everything
Yes.
praying and believing God for is manifesting. So I'm telling you, this is the time. If this is something you want to do, I encourage you to reach out to Dr. Lady Rain. Reach out to praise.fm live. Watch the shows, support the shows, do what you can do. And we're going to see God bless. And if you want to lose some weight, she even got praise exercise going on. I'm going to have to get in there, because every pound Ansonya has lost, I probably is hiding. It ain't lost. I know where it is. It's trying to find its way to other people and attach. That's what happens. So there ain't no lost luggage. That's all I'm going to say. They store that luggage somewhere else until the person come and claim it. But there's some luggage I'm not claiming. So I need to get in that class with Dr. Lady Rain myself. And Sonia, I thank God for you. Bless you. Bless everything God is doing in your life. Bless momentum shift. And I will see you guys in a few weeks. I have a special guest that's coming on. He's going to share his life story. He's up and coming actor, comedian, praise and worship leader. And I'm so excited. I'm just waiting so I can put out my next advertisement. So stay tuned. God bless. And I'll see you next time. Good night.
Good night.
You are tuned in to that praisey station, praise.fm, where we get our praise on, 24 hours, 7